put a finger down if you were in Home Depot trying to find the right screw because you had one specific screw you needed to replace, and you're just a girl that doesn't know much about screws, and so you were trying to find the right one, and an older man comes up to you and asks if you need help, and you say, oh my gosh, yeah, actually, can you tell me if you think these are the right screws to replace this one? And so he starts talking to you and helping you, and you think, this is so nice. This older man must see me like as how he would see his daughter, and he thinks this is someone who needs help in Home Depot and I'm going to help them. Well, then he starts talking to you and tells you that he has lived in this town for 3.5 years now, and asks you if you've ever been to this Mexican restaurant, and you say no because you've also lived in this town for about 3 years now and you haven't found a Mexican restaurant that reminds you of the ones that you went to growing up. And he says, oh, that's so crazy, I'll take you to the Mexican restaurant. And you say, ha ha ha, that's so funny. And then you just kind of ignore it because he's quite a bit older than you. And so you continue to just listen to him yap for a little while, and he tells you about a couple other restaurants, and you just kind of ignore him and laugh, and your dog is there with you, so you feel fine and comfortable, and she's laying down and he compliments your dog, and you think, oh, he's just a nice old man. And then he proceeds to tell you that he was serious about taking you to dinner, and he asks you out on a date, and he asks for your phone number, and you think, well, what's the worst could have happened? And so you give him your phone number, and he gives you his phone number, and he texts you a selfie, and he texts you immediately after you leave the Home Depot asking if it was the right screw and telling you that he was serious and wants to take you to dinner. And then you basically have just astonishing levels of anxiety around it because your fiance passed away about 5 months ago, and you haven't gone on any dates since because you don't want to, and you thought that maybe you could go to dinner with an old man because it seemed harmless, but then you start panicking, and then you start freaking out, and then you tell all your friends about it, and all your friends say maybe you should give him a shot and just go to dinner with him because what's the worst that could happen? At least you'll just have good conversation and have a nice meal. And then you start thinking about it more, and then the next day it sends you into a spiral of panic and anxiety and sadness, and you think, oh my God, thank God I have a therapy appointment tomorrow. And then you realize that there's no way on planet Earth that you can go on a date right now. So you ask ChatGPT to create a text for you to let this man down easy and tell him that you're sorry you can't go on a date with him because your fiance died 5 months ago, and you're way too scared to go on a date right now because you actually still love your fiance because you didn't break up with him, he just died. So then you have to use ChatGPT's text message because they can do a much better job than you can do to let this man down easy. And that's how your Monday is going with ChatGPT breaking up with a man for you.